So
Oh, okay.
that's fine. Where are you?
I'm in LA at the moment. So you're in Chicago, huh?
Yeah, just on the out in the outskirts. Yeah.
Okay.
So are you preparing, getting prepared for the tour right now?
Oh, yeah, we certainly are. We've got the live DVD and the CD out. Did you get a copy of that?
Yeah, I got I got the DVD and the CD. had been listening to it.
Oh, excellent.
It sounds great.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. Yeah.
I mean it's actually, I like the live even better than the studio versions of the songs.
Wow, cool. That's really great. There's some good energy there. It was released. It's just been released on the 21st. It was recorded this year in January. We did a very small tour specifically just so that we could record the DVD, and we recorded lots of B-roll, what they call B-roll, which is backstage footage and interviews and things like that. And we had guests come down, Slash and Neil Schon, Mick Jones from Foreigner, Glenn Hughes, Howard Leese from Heart, and Tommy Shaw from Six came down. So a couple of the guys jammed. You probably noticed.
Yeah, I noticed that, but I noticed that I was going to ask you about some of those things too, because you've actually done things with a couple of those guys before.
Yeah, I have. It's funny how that sort of panned out, you know. They're actually the most, they always like, you know, to bring their guitars. With Slash, he and I have jammed on a number of occasions. Actually, Slash and Neil Schon were with me when I had Andy Fraser and Jason Bonham, and we did the Woodstock Revisited back in, I think it was 94.
I had done some reading up on that. I was going to ask you about that. Did he just come in for to do? I mean, did he just step in there on invitation to appear with you
on the video? Yes, he did. I mean, on the DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah, the record company I said to them, well, look, okay. They said, we love the show that you did in 2001, and we want to just record the show and make a DVD. So I said, well, what exactly is a DVD? So I wasn't all that sure. I said, well, it's, you know, it's the show and it's backstage footage, and if you want to invite some guests down, maybe we'll interview them, you know. And Mike Drum, the DVD producer, was suggesting that I invite as many people as I like, and he would see if he could get them in front of camera. Well, they were all happy with doing that, which was great, you know.
I was actually, I was going to ask you about all that because I was looking forward to this coming out. I actually was covering the Volunteers for America thing in Atlanta, and I was covering it for a couple of things, and I had interviewed some people backstage. Then I wanted to interview you, but I thought I'd wait, you know, until then. And that show was so great.
Yes, it was a great show, wasn't it? It was a tough feeling. Yeah.
I hadn't actually seen you appearing live since years before with the Firm.
All right.
So it'd been many years, but I was blown away. I thought you guys sounded great. I mean.
Oh, thank you.
It was. Well, you're welcome. But So I was looking forward. I knew this was coming out because I did a little research, and there was a buzz about it coming out. And how did it come about? I mean, was it the record company? I mean, deciding to put out the live CD and the DVD, like you said, which a lot of people still don't have that technology yet. But
yes, yeah, well, it was. Yeah, they came and approached me, and they said that they loved the set and they liked the new single as well, Joe Fabulous and the Merchants of Cool, and they wanted to do 2 studio tracks for this, and a studio album next year. So that's something else we'll be doing.
I was going to ask you about that too. You said next year.
Yeah, probably, sometime next year. We'll be touring this year in June and July in America, and then in England and Europe in September, and then in October we'll be in Japan. So, it's an international release, an international tour.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Well, how do you feel, at this stage of your career, how do you feel about being that busy? I mean, that sounds like a pretty intense schedule you've got going for the next year or so.
Well, I'll tell you, it's really, really busy, Shelley, because I've just actually got back from a tour of Europe, a promotional tour of Europe, and I went to England, Germany, Spain, and France in 5 days. And that was a little wild, and I did all kinds of TV and press and promotion. So then response has been terrific out there too. And also over here in the States, the single, Joe Fabulous Merchants of Cool, is number 3 most added to mainstream radio.
I also wanted to ask you about that because I had seen a bit about that's just like in the last couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
So that's excellent, isn't it?
It really bodes well, yeah. I mean, I am busier, your question. I am busier than I really wanted to be because I hadn't realized, when they said do a DVD and a small tour, I thought, oh, great, that sounds nice in January, tour California. But there's a lot of work involved with putting it all together. And I'm happy with the result, though. It's good quality, I'm sure,
Yeah, well, I mean, I know that a lot of the songs have been out in other in other sets and things like that before, but the selection of the ones that you did put on there was excellent. Plus, yes, as I said, the sound is just great. It's good. It's good.
Thank you. Well, I mean, they're pretty much what we were doing on stage, and it's all the signature tunes, really, that Bad Company is known for. But I tried to stretch the envelope a little bit by including some things from the band before, the precursor, really, of Bad Company, that was Free.
Yes.
So Wishing Well is on there, and All Right Now is on there, on the DVD. And also there's a couple of Beatles songs at the end of Rock and Roll Fantasy, because they are part of my rock and roll fantasy too.
Yeah, it's part of your history, your background, and so forth. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't mean to be jumping all over the place here, but everything you're saying is triggering things I wanted to ask you about.
All right.
Well, even for example, you mentioned Free, and over the years I've actually been writing on and off for 20 years or more, and Free is probably one of the number one biggest influences on bands, especially that come out of England. To this day, I hear that. I'm sure you're quite aware of that, aren't you?
Yeah, I know that, yes, that Free is a much-loved band, particularly in Europe. Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, even some of the guys that are your contemporaries will say that, I was amazed when I was backstage just getting some sound bites from some of the guys at the Volunteers for America thing, a lot of the guys were excited about hearing you sing. I don't know if you're aware of that, but, some of the guys playing with you?
Yeah, I know. It was really, really nice, actually, because I'd be out on stage and I'd look, see there's a whole crowd on the side of the stage and there's all the other acts, It's really sweet. Fantastic, yeah.
And now tell me, when I did kind of look back before talking to you over some previous interviews, I wanted to see what some other people had asked you, so I wouldn't ask you all the same things. And maybe up until like 3 years ago, the last time, before last year, Bad Company had gotten together, then you had a solo album, and at the time you didn't sound like you thought Bad Company would tour again. And what changed that?
Well, I'll give you a brief synopsis of the sort of chain of events that have led us here. In '99, it was suggested that we put an anthology together, which, of course, was everything, pretty much very comprehensive, covered all the tracks and everything.
Yes.
And different versions of different things. And we recorded 4 new songs on that, 2 of which, and this was the original band, Mick, Simon, Boz, and myself. 2 of those songs were released as singles. The first one, Hey Hey, was number 1 in the radio charts. The second one, Hammer of Love, reached number 2. And we toured, and it was a very successful tour, and it was a great reunion. At the end of that tour, though, Mick and Boz decided that they didn't want to do the big tours anymore. Mick doesn't like flying, and Boz really wanted to play jazz in his club, little clubs and stuff, which is fine, and we understood that. So that was 99. So in 2000, I released my 6th solo CD, and I was fine with that, and I toured with that. It was called Electric. And Simon went off and did something with Ringo Starr. But we got a lot of requests, kept coming back to us. Can Bad Company tour with Journey? Can they tour with Styx? Can they tour with, various different people? So in 2001, we put a lineup together with myself and Simon, and we went out and toured at Bad Company, and we toured with Styx, and it was great. We had a lovely time, great tour. At the end of that, that's when Sanctuary approached us and said, we like exactly what you're doing. We want to do the DVD and put it out this summer, which is, and here we are. So that's the kind of chain of events, and it's been more work than more time-consuming than I really thought it would be.
Yeah.
So I had to really put my solo thing on to one side because I'd be, I'm running ragged trying to just keep up with the one thing,
Yeah. Your solo thing was with Sanctuary also, wasn't it?
No, it was with a different record company, MVP from Europe.
Okay. And so now you're deep in it. Even I guess you have to go with the flow now at this point, right? I mean. Yeah,
I definitely do. Yeah. And it's pretty nice, because I'm quite happy. It's very nice for me to have a new single out there that's something recurrent that I've written that is being played on the radio. It's always a thrill that,
Yeah.
It's like the first time when I first wrote a song and re-recorded it and went on the radio. I mean, it's a terrific feeling.
I know what you mean, to have something new and contemporary out that it's a different feeling. In regard to your songwriting, I wanted to ask you just a little bit about that. I had read about in the past, but do you still do as much songwriting as you did, say, 10 or 15 years ago? Or do you write for albums mainly?
No, I write. I write just for myself, really. I whittle on the guitar and I just write songs. It's a thing I do. It's a pastime I have.
Yeah.
And I do it all the time. And I have a lot of songs, most of the time, on the boil, And I just felt that Joe Fabulous and the Merchants of Cool was something that would lift Bad Company into a bit more of a contemporary thing. Whilst we've got a lot of classic signature songs, I don't want to get stuck in a classic rock rut. If I can say that.
I understand what you mean.
So it's nice. I've always tried down through the years, always pushing forward to do new things, and it's hard, really. I think because people, to some extent, are a little bit reluctant. They want all the old stuff, so I have to mix and match it.
Yeah.
I find that works best.
Yeah, I know it's a fine balance.
Yeah, it is.
And how about the other song that's on the CD, the Saving Grace, the one you did with Neil Schon?
Yeah, that's something I wrote with Neil Schon, and it actually it came out on my solo CD, on the Now CD, a couple of years back, Now and Live.
Okay.
And it got revisited because we wanted to, when Neil came down and we were talking about jamming, we wanted to jam on it. And we did. The only problem was I couldn't use that track because we had technical problems. Sometimes that happens when you record live, and there were three priorities when choosing the tracks. The one that, the performance was good, and two, that it was technically perfect as it could be for live, and three, that it looked fairly good, it looked good.
Yeah.
And that one, so I didn't use the live version of that, but the guys in the band loved it. They said, so we re-recorded that one, and that became the second studio track.
Okay, that answers my question about that one. And you said you write it. I mean, you probably have. If you're so prolific in writing, which it sounds like you are, you probably have loads of songs you haven't ever recorded yet, right?
I do, actually. I actually have so many that I have a backlog. I need. One of the reasons I want to get off the road for a bit, which doesn't look like happening for a while, is just so that I can download all the songs in my head. Yeah, and
it's interesting because I had read something, a quote you made in the past about Emotions writing the songs, and I suppose when you're on the road now, it'll be difficult to do any writing. I mean, because you have to sit down and do some introspection when you're writing, right? I mean.
Yeah. Well, it's a different kind of thing. I mean, I find that when I'm traveling, I'm absorbing a lot of influences because, the world's moving in front of you. You're meeting a lot of different people, and you're experiencing a lot of different cities and places and stimulation, actually. So I'm absorbing it all, and I take it all in, and the songs come to me very often. Although to really get them organized, I like to sit on like a beach in Mexico or something like that. That's my excuse, anyway.
Well, so do you foresee doing another solo album eventually?
Oh yeah. Well, you know that I'm completely open to that. I love my solo band, and I like what I do with the solo band is much more experimental with Bad Company. You know, things like the Beatle things on the end of Rock and Roll Fantasy comes from my solo work. You know, and with that I include songs from all of the bands I've been with, pretty much. You know, like you'll find Radioactive in there from the Firm days, and maybe Satisfaction Guaranteed, and then there's Muddy Water Blues, and there's all kinds of different things going on. Some of which, though, that kind of opening the envelope, I'm bringing to Bad Company anyway. I like, you know, to just widen the scope a little bit.
Yeah. Paul, how much time do you have? I don't want to keep you over.
Well, they said there's another one person to speak to at 4:15.
Okay, I just didn't want to. I know that sometimes they're on a tight schedule.
Yeah.
And I believe I'm supposed to. I actually talk to you again when because I write for more than one publication when you come to Chicago. Which,
okay.
By the way, that's great. You're playing at the House of Blues in Chicago.
Yeah, it's nice, huh?
Yeah, that's really nice because it's a smaller venue and it's really probably the best venue of that size to play in Chicago.
I have actually been there, and I love the venue. Great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
My favorite shows have been there, so that is going to be great.
Okay.
How did that come about? Because some of the other shows are bigger. You know, you're playing. Well, I guess aren't you playing with Foreigner at some of the shows?
Yes. About half the shows are with Foreigner. You know, yes.
And but though in Chicago you had the two. Apparently they added on another one. So was that deliberate to play at the House of Blues there, or was that just happen? Kind of.
I don't know whether they did add another one on, Shelley, or not. I'm not really sure. But you know, that's sort of something the management and the agency takes care of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't know whether you'd requested that or anything like that. I was just curious about that because it'll be great.
I'm very happy to play there, though. You know, because I like that intimate atmosphere, and it's such a great venue. Yeah.
Okay, and you know, I also read about. Well, I know who all a lot of your favorite people are. I mean, you happen to mention, though, one person that you hadn't played, unless this was misquoted, one person that you had wanted to play with that you hadn't played with so many great people over the years, but one was George Harrison, and he recently passed away.
Yeah, I know. It's sad, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I'll have to wait till I get to Paradise now.
That's what I wondered. Had you ever played with him? But
No, I didn't, unfortunately. But, you know, interestingly, we were doing a video thing today, and the chap that was interviewing me asked me, he was going on to interview Ray Charles. And he said, would you like to ask a question by video to Ray Charles, you know? And so I said, well, Ray, I'm a big fan of yours, and when I was 13 years old, I was really moved by your voice on Client Time. And a lot of people ask me this question, so I want to ask you, how do you take care of your voice after so many years, and how do you keep it? You know, so I might get an answer back in video, which would be like, will blow my mind.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, he'd probably be just as thrilled that you said that as you will be getting the answer. You know.
Well, you know, I would be completely humbled because, you know, I mean, it's just so incredible. The guy's almost a god.
How do you take care of your voice then?
Well, I thought about it a while back, and I thought the only way, if I want to be like John Lee Hooker and Ray Charles and still have that thing when, you know, forever until I drop, as it were, I've got to take care of myself. So I find that the voice is not just the voice box; it's the head, the heart, the body, and the soul. And I try to keep all those things in harmony, you know.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up because even besides your voice and to have longevity and staying power in the music business for as long as you have, you do have to have a certain mindset, I think. I mean, that's probably undeniable to stay at the same level that you have been the whole time. I mean,
yeah, I think you have to have passion. You know, I'm very passionate about what I do, and if I ever lost that, if I become less than passionate, I would stop doing it and go and do the garden or something, you know.
Well, you also, I mean, also the stamina that it takes, even, for example, with this upcoming tour, I mean, it can get the best of people, you know, just keeping up with that, but aren't you?
Yes, I do. I do meditate, and I find that it centers me. And there's a book out at the moment called The Power of Now
Okay.
by Eckhart Tolle, which is, I really recommend. It's a wonderful book about living in the present moment rather than, his theory is that most of us actually, spend our time either worrying about the future or debating what we should have done in the past. And as a result, we miss what's happening right now at the moment. We've got to keep telling ourselves, how is this moment for you right now? Do you have any problems as you sit here or stand here? And most of the time, you can say, actually, no, I don't. You know what I mean? It's only me looking forward and back that gives me any problems. And
Definitely.
it's a really interesting book, and I totally recommend it. It'll change your life.
Well, you know what? That's interesting. I was just speaking to somebody about that yesterday, how it's so hard to live in the present moment. So that's ironic that you just said that.
Wow, we see. This book is really spreading by word of mouth. A lot of people are getting onto it, you know. Yeah.
How do you spell the guy's last name? Do you know?
Tolle, Tolle.
Okay.
Eckhart Tolle.
I'll look it up.
How you pronounce it? And it's called The Power of Now.
Okay, I'll look that up.
Eckhart Tolle.
Because I just want to get it right in print, you know.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, you keep in really good shape too.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think that's that part of the head, heart, body, and soul thing, you know, because I think if you wreck yourself, I don't know how you can expect to sing very well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it occurred to me, I thought, yeah, I'm just going to take care here, you know. So, yeah.
But you also, though, I mean, you've had a very extraordinary life and a career, you know. But from what I've been able to gather, I mean, you've really stayed very much a regular type guy. I mean, that's, I guess, keeping balance in your life, I suppose.
Yeah.
And some of the things that just talking about now.
Yeah, I definitely think that you need a balance in your life. Yeah. I mean, part of the meditation thing is that there are 7 chakras throughout your body, and I could actually go on for a long time about that. There probably isn't really time, but each one deals with a certain aspect of your life. You know, the chakra 1 is the lower chakra, and that connects you to the earth. And then chakra 2 is in your belly, and that is your power and your strength. And then chakra 3 is just where your ribs part. That's your personality. And then chakra 4 is where your heart lies, approximately where your heart is, and at the center. And then chakra 5 is in your throat, and that deals with creative communication, which is very much the voice, actually. And then chakra 6 is the third eye, which is in the center of your forehead, and that deals with your intuition and your inspiration. And then chakra 7 is at the top of the head and opens outwards and upwards, and that is your connection with the universe.
Is there a name for that philosophy?
It's meditation, and those are the chakras.
Okay.
And you know, if you got a book on the chakras, you can go to those, you know, those kind of alternative kind of bookshops.
Exactly.
You can find a lot of information on that. Actually, a good person to read is Deepak Chopra.
That's what I thought you were going to mention him because.
Oh, out of sight.
And you also mentioned him on the album sleeve.
Oh, right. That's right. I did. Yeah.
And I had read one book of his years ago, but I hadn't read it recently. But that's good to know. So you do read it? Do you do quite a bit of reading?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I love a good story. I mean, I love books on spirituality and that kind of thing, but I love a good story too. Wilbur Smith is very good.
Okay. Now tell me, I won't keep you on here because I don't want to be rude.
Okay, sweetheart. Yeah.
But just to end, aren't a couple of your kids involved in music also?
Yeah. Well, I have 3 kids. One lives in my hometown.
In England?
In England, yeah. And then the 2 kids live in London. And they have their own band. It's called the Boa Band.
It's your son and daughter, right?
That's right, yes. And they write their own songs, and they sing and play guitars.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel good. You know, I feel good. I'm very proud of them. Actually, they will be opening the show with us when we play in England.
Oh, really? That'll be neat, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still live in England?
Well, I still have my house in England, but actually, if I live anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you have to spend a lot of time on the West Coast with all the business part of it, right?
Yeah, well, I spend a lot of time traveling and touring, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Paul, I don't want to hold you.
That's okay. I was very interested to talk with you, Shelly.
Yeah, it's it's a pleasure to talk to you, and hopefully I'll meet you when you come for your Chicago dates. I'm looking forward to it.
I'd like that.
Okay.